a sigh of relief as 2SRL Season 8 is over.
Gentlemen, and welcome to another fantastic weekend of Formula 1 racing here on the EGL Extreme Gaming League. I'm Tipsy Bob, and joining me on the mic is my trusty sidekick and my good friend, Dad Bats. Covering all the action today, we're going to be covering everywhere from Monaco, Singapore, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain, all across the world, all across the country. A full grid lined up some of the best talent around the world. We have plucked them from all corners of the earth to give you some of the greatest racing experience footage you'll ever see in your lifetime. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the EGL. There we go, once and all the cars are all lining up on.
Hello and welcome to the studio of the EGL for SLR, or 2SRL's Tier 3 for opening round in Season 2 for Australia. And today with me we have a very nice host in former Tier 3 driver and now co-commentator, Mr. Kimmy.
Hello. So very good intro there.
I was going to say, what is actually your decision to step out of the car and into the commentary box?
Well, my decision was basically I'm not very fast in this game. As we saw from my performance last season, I had a few point finishes and I gave up halfway through the season, so I wasn't really enjoying it, so I'd rather commentate it. And then I went into the reserve role for Tier 3, but I don't think I'll use it often. But I'll stick to ACC, that's my main sim.
So going from F1 to GC3 cars, well, that's not actually a bad shout at all, so that is fair play, but for now he is here to do the whole season as the co-commentator for Tier 3, and his knowledge will become pretty much very useful for our opening round in Australia. And well, while we're in the commentary box, as you can see in the background, the guys in Tier 3 are underway for qualifying, so we'll join them on track right now as we start the season open for Season 3, and we have a few new faces on this grid, and well, we'll go through a bit of the Season 3 from last season. So as you said, Neon Rays was promoted to Tier 2, and his seat at Mercedes has not been filled by anyone at the minute because Merck seemed to have forgot their parts at the airport. But was just mentioning when we came in, who do you think's the have we got any championship favourites for this season, or any drivers to watch out?
I think Owen and Sonny are going to come in as favourites because they were second and third respectively last season. Owen had a very strong start last season, but he sort of fell off towards the end, whereas Sonny had a decent start, but then he really upped his game towards the end. So I think they both have good momentum coming into the season. Owen will want to win the championship because for his first league race ever, which was last season, that was his first league racing he's ever done, and he was leading it for basically the whole time. So he'll want to win it this season, and I think he probably could do it. Although I'm not sure about the new faces, how fast they are, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, because I've actually got the old qualifying list up from last season, because obviously this is the second tier of 2SRL. I think we've actually got the first winner ever in 2SRL Tier 3, Ace Boy, is currently on the grid in the Alfa Romeo for this season, as last season he was driving the Renault. He qualified 6th last season. Will we see him do the same again today? We'll wait to be seen, but obviously I know a few of these guys from 2SRL and SLR, and one person who I'm going to keep an eye on is Gerla and Sonny. Because I think those two make a very strong team together, so we'll see how they do over the season. But Sonny on the pad was very, very fast, but he's obviously taken the decision this season to try and learn the wheel, so if he can translate that pace from the pad onto the wheel, he will be a very dominant force to contend with. But for now, we'll see. But as we start to see the first few times start coming in, and we are seeing the 120s, well, almost into the 119s, but at the moment, Jozzo is clear favourite with a 1 second gap over his teammate in second place, and Gerla 1.3 seconds back. So we're already seeing a pretty big gap forming so far.
Yeah, I've never seen Jozzo race before, so I have no idea how quick he is, but already going off this, he seems pretty fast for, well, I guess Tier 3 standards. Not saying they're slow, there are pretty fast people in here, but it's like the breeding ground for some proper races to be able to promote into Tier 2 and potentially Tier 1. I saw Owen, he went for an out lap, was on a flying lap, and then he went back into the pits. So I don't know what happened there with him, but I assume he might have cut the track and just decided to go straight for the pits and go out and try again.
Yeah.
And his teammate, Danny, from last season, he's also someone to look out for. He was consistently, I think, top 10. He could also consistently be top 5, but he was quite unlucky last season. But he stays in the house seat. I have a feeling he might be a bit of an underdog this season.
Yeah, see, the thing is, though, unless you're like Mr. Beamer, who's practicing for the Tier 2 race Finn SLR right now, he is the king of consistency, and Danny, if he can do that again this season, he could actually put up a title challenge, because I remember watching him a little bit in the chats, and he was, on the pace towards the end of the season. But let's see how he does. He comes to the finish line now to complete his first lap. Looks like he'll be a 1:20.6, and that puts him in P2, still 6/10 off Jozzo, but that's what everyone's got to catch up to, and he already invalidates over lap 1. But we're looking.
I mean, he's 6/10 off, but he is 6/10 ahead of. 8/10. Wait, maths. 6/10 ahead of P3. So he's got a bit of a gap to improve, but he's also got a gap behind him. So pretty solid position, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, the pole time here last season was actually a 1:19 set by Blindervinge, but I don't think he's actually racing today, because I think he must have got stuck at the airport with the Mercedes guys. So they have obviously not flown him out, and that's good. It's been a bit of an issue. But anyway, we've got Fropsy on the lap now, and we'll take on board with him, and we'll see if we can actually get a lap round Albert Park here as he comes up into turn 3 now. Want to take it in third, probably coming up to turn 5 now, taking fourth, taking all the power there. Want to go across the line there, coming out of turn 5 now, coming down to turn 6. When you see the left little TV box, want to break it down, go into full pot throttle onto the curb, coming out of turn 6 and 7, going now all the way down to turn 8, full throttle now, coming up to turn 9, braking just before where the wall sticks out, going into third, up into fourth. Sometimes a few people do when they hit the inside curb of turn 9, but now come down to probably the most scenic part of the track, underneath the DRS detection zone for number 1 as you go left, right through turns 11 and 12, and he gets a bit unstable there as he comes up to turn 13 and 14, but let's see how he does. Gets that very nicely, he comes up, and now he takes a lot of curb, doesn't invalidate his lap, but let's see as he comes through the swooping right-hander of turn 14 and gets that, as Ace Boy gets out the way on the side, comes up into the penultimate turn, takes it in the second. Now let's see if we can get a good exit in where we'll put him. Very nice exit, puts the power down now, comes up to the finish line. We could see a 120 here. We'll go for a 120.5. If he does that, I will be I am pretty off, but still a very good lap. And he actually comes very close to Josy, and looks like he's the first challenger. But now we have Tide on a lap, and I think Tide is Tide being... No, it's not Tide, it's Roman gets, I think, impeded by... What happened to Ace? Oh yeah, very nice, good spot.
Very, very, very close to Frosty's lap time. He's one. I don't even know. That's too close. Wow. Okay.
Or is it? Is it Antonite? Math has gone completely out the window for both of us.
Yeah.
And we see Fropsy now doing McLaren Lawnmower International Service, and the AlphaTauri doing exactly the same in the background. So we're seeing Bottas Mowing Service 2.0, and all the teams must be thinking, because Corona, they can get up to something new. Anyway, let's have a look at a few other people, and let's have a look at Sonny, as we see Trevor Linden in the gravel of turn 3, so not sure what's happened there. We're seeing quite a few people come off, and it looks like he's had a bit of front wing damage, so that's it. But anyway, we've got Owen on the lap. No, he's not. He's invalidated. But anyway, let's see the old man himself and what he can do. Coming up to turn 13 now. Going into third. Locks up a bit. Coming up now to turn 14. Can he swoop round? He keeps the throttle down. Lifts off a little bit. Comes now up to the penultimate turn. He looks like he was 3 tenths up on his lap as he comes through sector 2 now. What can he do as he comes across the line? I think he's going to set about a 121 or something, but I don't think this is going to be an improvement. It comes up to the line. Yeah, it is 8 tenths, so very good improvement by Ocean Chief, but that still leaves him in P14. So we've got 8 minutes left, and Jozo is the guy to beat, but, you know, we have got a lot. Well, you can probably fit about 2 more laps in. However, we do have Owen on a lap. Well, not on a lap now, so yeah. I'm just going to wait until someone's actually on a lap before talking again.
Well, breaking news, it seems like Mercedes has managed to get one of the cars from the airport to the track, so Max is getting prepared to start a lap, and Owen jumps back into the pits yet again. I wonder what issues he's having.
I am not sure, because Owen usually would be alright, but I think he just invalidated the lap. He must be going on a fresh set of tyres, because if you think about it, Australia, the tyre deg's quite high, because the strategy is usually soft or hard from lap 7 to 10 you want to pit around, but when you get into that window of like lap 4 to 7 on these soft tyres, they tend to slide all over the place, so it's pretty much you want to be on a fresh set. But either way, we see Calm Pagan actually setting laps on the mediums, but I don't think he's really having... I'm not sure what he's doing at the minute, because he's still been out since the start of the session with a broken front wing of the medium tyres, so... But they're not really the ones to qualify on. But anyway, Jozo is back out. He's already gone faster. He's a 1:19.6 already. So Jozo is already setting the pace for this season, and it looks like he's going to be the one to beat.
Jozo, I was just going to say, it might have been because he's put a lot of practice into this track, but if he does this every weekend, then I'm pretty sure he might be one of the top runners already. He's just looking at the pace compared to last season. But that doesn't discount the other boys, because they might have also practiced quite a lot in the off-season and have some hidden speed up their sleeves, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I remember the first time I did this game, I set a 1:19.5, and then a few other people actually managed to get it into the 1:18s, but Jozo definitely showing that he is going to be the one to beat tonight at the moment. But we do have Fropsy and Ace Boy both still to set times, as we see Gurler now on a lap, and well, let's see what he can do, because Gurler's a very fast driver as well. But let's see how he comes through as he comes through turns 4 and 5. But I think he's backed off now, so he's not on a lap. But we do see Danny, or one of the Alfa Romeos, on a lap, but looks like they're all backing off, so I've tuned in at the wrong time yet again. Oh god, could someone just go on a lap? I just want to see someone on a lap. I can see a Haas.
I think
Danny's on a lap. Yes, he is. Right.
Danny's on the lap. Let's go with Danny.
Right then, okay, go with Danny. We'll see him again coming through the main straight of turns 9 and 10, but coming up to turn 11 now, he's pretty much equal on his time as he comes through the sweeping left and right hander now, coming down to the first DRS detection zone. Will he be able to improve? He's got to make up that time, because he's currently down in P6 and he's got a bit of a gap to Dom. But he needs to find 3 attempts in the last part. I'm going to mishmash all these names again. However, he comes up to the penultimate turn. Let's see what he can do as he comes around the final turn. You want to be hitting about a 113 at that bollard sticking out of the pits now, as we see some cars spin on the straight as Danny comes down the main straight now. Will he improve on his time? He sets a 1:26. no, he doesn't improve. So he did equal the 6th temps, but didn't go fast enough. So he will have one more lap, luckily. Anyway, let's have a look what Fropsy can do, because Fropsy is on a lap, but he's 1/10 down. He's actually getting a slipstream from his teammate in McLaren Lad. McLaren Lad gets out of the way, and oh no! That was a moment to say the least. Both McLarens coming together, and McLaren leg gets a 5-second time penalty, and that is really unfortunate for both of those guys. They're both trying to help each other out, but McLaren lad just couldn't get out of the way, and in the end gives his teammate a 5-second. No, he gets his teammate a 5-place grid drop.
I saw McLaren like a 5-place grid drop as well. So maybe they both have it. I'm not sure, but we'll have to see. That's one thing. I drove for McLaren last season with a fellow driver, Born Wolf. He's very quick, very nice lad. We'd give each other slipstreams a lot whenever we could, and I think we practice slipstreams more than we actually practice the track. So it's good to see that it helps to practice slipstreams, and it's not just McLaren that has a curse of slipstreams. Anyways, Owen is on a lap. He's coming into the final few corners now.
Yeah, Owen, I'm not sure how much it says, 48 seconds, but it looks like he could be on for a big improvement as he actually is setting his first lap. And he comes across line 1:20.3, so Owen up into P5, and the Alfa Romeo is very nicely on the second and third rows already. However, I did see someone of interest on a lap. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Aceboy. Yeah, Aceboy is on a lap because he's actually equaled his Sector 2 time, but he's going to have to try and make it with Sector 3 if he wants to get ahead of Fropsy. So he is coming now down through turns 13 and 14. This is the place where you can actually gain a lot of time. If you come out that turn, you can either land on the throttle or, you know, take it through. But as you come through the penultimate turns, this is where you need to get them connected up, because it's actually quite a difficult turn to get correct, because it can actually lose you a tenth or two. As he comes up to the line now, looks like he could set a 1:22, and he actually does improve. He doesn't improve. He literally went 0.001 tenths slower than his last lap time, and that's really unfortunate.
At least he's consistent.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's bang on consistent for anything, but that is pretty good. We do have Trevor Linden on the lap now, coming up to Sector 2, and he's 2 tenths down, so he's got a fair bit to make up, so we'll quickly jump on board with Owen, and Owen invalidates his lap going across the curb boundary of turn 15, so that's very unfortunate, and he comes into the pits. He's probably going to get one more go. He's got enough time to potentially get in and out again, so we'll see how these guys do as they come down to the final 2 minutes of qualifying. And Jozzo looks like he's the guy to take pole at the minute, and he is doing a superb job, and I don't think he's actually going to come out again, so he's obviously thinking the work is done, so he's just going to let Ace Boy and the rest of the pack catch up to him.
Yeah, another thing to look out for, Jozzo might be one of those drivers who is really rapid on quali pace, but then when it comes to actual race pace, not so quick. But I from what I've seen so far, it doesn't look like he's one of those drivers. So might already find a dominant driver this season, but we'll have to wait and see.
For sure. If he does a very good job again, he can for sure, you know, see in the race. But obviously, sometimes races can tell an indication, but not all of them. He might have practiced a lot for this track, like you said, but we shall see. As Fropsy and Ace Boy are both gearing up for their final laps, and I think Ace Boy is just saving his DRS, and he's actually going to try and use Fropsy's slipstream to get him a little bit of a catapult the grid, as these two guys are both trying to get for that second position on the grid. Gerler as well, Gerler on his outlap, so these guys all going for one more go as Ace Boy is enough and leaves. So let's see how Fropsy does on his final flying lap, coming up now through Sector 1. He already invalidates, so it looks like his first challenge is down, and Ace Boy also, so it looks like now it's going to fall down to Gerler as him and Sonny are both about to slipstream each other and get ready for their final flying laps. Can Sonny get all the way up from P16? Can Gerler getting to the range of Jozzo? We shall see now as the guys get ready for their final flying lap, as Sonny comes across the start finish line first. If we go on board with him, we will see how he does. So Sonny coming up through turn 1 now, very nicely, takes a lot of curb, gets a very nice exit. There comes into the first DRS zone as he comes up towards turn 3, and let's see how he does. Brakes very nicely. Now coming up, shifting into third, we have yellow flag in Sector 3 for the Renaults, but that's not going to really change much. We'll see now as Sonny comes through his first sector time in a second. Is he going to be up or down on this time? We shall see now. He's actually 3 tenths up, so Sonny up on the pace a lot at the minute. Let's see how Gerla's going to do, as Gerla is currently not saying any data at the minute, so we'll have to wait and see how he does. But we'll keep an eye on his teammate as he comes through now turn 9 and 10. Will he be up again in Sector 2? He looks like he's going to catapult himself up the grid here considerably, and he's going to be 6 tenths up, so he's already going to be in P11 and P12 at the moment. It's just as long as he doesn't invalidate, he will be fine as he uses the DRS straight. As Gerla currently has invalidated his lap, so it looks like Jozo is going to be the one on pole and the one who's going to be the one to beat in the race. As we see now, as the Ferrari gets in the way of Sonny, and that could have compromised his lap big time, and that looks like great. And yeah, that is Sonny's lap done and over, and that looks like the Ferrari of Grezu, who completely ruined his lap there, unfortunately, because Sonny was on a very, very good lap then.
Well, that's very unfortunate, but I've seen Sonic come from the back of a grid before, so I still expect him to have a good result, but that's very unfortunate, especially in the final stages of qualifying. So I think Dominon is the last one to
He's invalidated.
Complete the lap. Oh, it's invalidated. Okay, well, there's the grid for the first race of Season 2 for Tier 3.
And there you go, Jozo taking pole position by over 5 tenths of a second, and Ace Boy, last season's race winner in Season 1, taking P2 on the grid, and we have P2 finisher Danny all the way down in P9. Again, driving the Haas, but it's not going to be well, straightforward for him, but we'll see as we now just going to see the final qualifying results. But generally from that, it looks like we have got a new kid on the block in Jozo, and he looks like he's going to show what he's about tonight. But either way, we take you through the qualifying results quickly. Jozo and Ace Boy on the front row, Fropsy in the McLaren and Gerla on the second row, Omletto and Trevor in the Williams and Racing Point on row 3, Owen and Dom on row 4, and then Danny and Roman rounding out the top 10. But it's clear to see everyone apart from Jozo is actually within a second of each other, and that's going to be for some exciting racing in the mid-pack. But I'm not going to, write Jozo off yet, because, there's still a fair way to go in this race, because there's 58 laps. There's going to be 29 in total, so anything can happen. It depends what strategy he does, but we shall see. But he's looking the clear favourite at the minute.
Yeah, I'd agree. But like we said, early stages. It's a bit too early to judge someone's true pace. For example, last season, Ace Boy, he came in, won, didn't race the next race, came in again, won, didn't race the next race, and those. After race 5, people are like, oh, as soon as Ace Boy comes, he'll win. But then after that, I don't think he maybe won one more race, but I don't think he was quite as competitive. So it could be a great start to the season, but as others improve, they might fall behind a bit and get caught up by the others. But again, long season ahead. It's very exciting stuff. Tier 3, in my opinion, more exciting than Tier 2 and 1, but. That's a bit of a bias for me, but it's very, very good season, so I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, considering you've gone from being full-time driver to full-time Nico Rosberg now, so, you can have those opinions.
Yeah.
I'm still currently a driver in F1, so I can't say that, but if we're going to do our Rosberg analysis, we're going for Jozo for the win, or you think someone else is going to come through the field and take that away from him today?
I have a feeling Gerla might do something quite amazing. Also, Joza might be collected in a turn 1 incident. We're not sure yet. I don't know. I don't know how he races. I wouldn't be able to tell you. But Gerla and Fropsy and Ace Boy, I know what they can do, and I know they're all capable of challenging for that win.
Yeah, I think Gerlo as well, considering he has got a lot of pace, I think he can definitely do something. So what we'll see from him today is something special, and I think as well Sonny, even though he's down in P15, he can definitely do something. But a few of these guys actually starting on the medium tyre, so they're thinking that the medium tyre will be better than the soft tyre, and that's the thing about Australia. That tyre can actually work alright, because the softs in the top 10 wear off so quickly that medium tyre does make up for it in the end. However, you have got to have the pace on the tyre to get that up. So in terms of the pit strategy, we're looking at around laps 7 to 10 in terms of the soft to the hard, or if we're going for the 2-stop, there you go, the pit strategy has literally just come up on the screen right now, and what I was saying is that's pretty much what the strategy is looking like, but the 1-stop definitely the quicker option around here. But again, just surviving that little stint from lap 4 to 7 will be key for a few of those guys. especially going through turns 11 and 12, where it's very easy to spin off.
Yeah. Right. I also feel like Owen might get a podium today.
Yeah, I think anything can happen, as we said, but Owen definitely going to be one of the guys to look out for. I know we just had that little pause on the in-between because we was just getting things sorted, but, you know, we are going to be in for an exciting race nonetheless, I think, so hopefully that repays itself back tonight, but we will see as Jozo now leads the guys out onto the start of the grid, and for the opening round of Season 2 in Australia, for the third tier of 2SRL's F1 division. And let's see as we wait for the final guys to come around the turn and line up, as we see Max now just coming up to take up the final grid spot, and everyone take their places ready for the start of the Australian Grand Prix.
Yeah, this is gonna... I can feel like my nerves building up because I feel like something's gonna happen, but I always feel like that pre-race, so we'll see.
Anyway,
but,
we've got the lights out now, and no, we're not. It's Codemasters, so it's always going to be a delay.
There we go.
There we go. As we see now, the Williams of Jozzy getting a nice start, but Ace Boy gets a brilliant start going side by side to him into turn 1, and Ace Boy looks like he's got the jump on Jozzy, and definitely he has, as we see the McLaren behind him getting him. We might have had a bit of a contact in the background, but it looks like everyone's got around, and we see a bit of one of the Ferraris Turbo Dudley spinning around at the back, but Ace Boy definitely getting the start over Jozzo, and it looks like Fropsy has got past, as we see Ocean Chief and a few others going all over you. We have Calm Pagan and Turbo Dudley losing out at the start, and definitely not what they wanted, but we have got a lot of battles going on, but Ace Boy definitely getting back, as we see in the background Fropsy and Gurley trying to come through, and Fropsy into turn 5, and Gurley getting the move done and forcing Fropsy out onto the grass, and Gurley goes, thank you very much, that is my position. However, it looks like Fropsy's going to try and come back around the outside of him into turn 9, and well, no, he's not, and Fropsy's actually lost out to Owen, and Fropsy's having a terrible start for qualifying P3 on the second row of the grid. He's lost out, and he's down all the way in P7 at the moment. But we do have a lot of battles going on in the background. We see Roman, P9, P10, we've got two going side by side through turn 11. Oh my god, well, that was a great move by Omletto. And he gets past Roman in for P10, but Roman looks like he's going to come back now with Danny coming down the inside of him. Coming into turn 13, we have a yellow flag, and that was one of the cars at the back, as we see Roman and Danny going side by side now, and I think he's just about got it, and it looks like Danny has got past Omletto, but we have had a load of action on the opening lap, and in the background we can see even more fighting between Kurz and Max, but Max looks like he's just going to hold the position. If we go on board with him quickly, you can see he's got the super shooting yet, because obviously we don't have DRS till turn 3. He is going to get him, but has to just back off just about as he goes over turn 1. I think that's going to be a warning. We see Fropsy losing out a little bit there, and he's not had the race of, well, to put it lightly, in the first place. However, we do have a nice battle going on.
Yeah, so both Alfa Romeos, they had a blistering start. So Ace Boy, like you said, jumped off the line, goes into P1, turn 1, and Owen manages to get 2 positions within 3 corners, and then at the end, his little fight with Fropsy manages to bring up to P4. So he's already close to that podium we were predicting from him. So exciting stuff ahead. And also, while this was happening, Sonny, he had an incident at the back, so he is currently 40 seconds behind P16. So I don't think he will be able to do anything crazy today, which is a bit of a shame.
I was going to say we could always have a safety car, so you know that could, if that's thrown into the equation, then definitely something will happen. However, we do see Ace Boy and Jozzo battling very hard with each other, as we see the first few time penalties starting to come in right now. But behind Gerla, he's getting a bit of pressure from Owen, but it looks like we are having the lead to break away, and then a few plaques behind. But in P7, Omletto looks like he's going to try and get past Grezu into turn 1, but Grezu looks like he's got the line. Omletto going side by side, both of them going whacking each other, and that's the spin for Grezu. And look like if one of them touched their wheels, he would spin, and that's happened to Grezu, unfortunately. But he's still in the race, and his medium tire strategy could have gone out the window now, and that was very unfortunate for him. But up ahead, we still have the battle going on. It looks like Roman now could be trying to get past Danny in for this battle, but again, we have got a load of battles starting to form on track, and it looks like they are starting to break into their little bits of trains right now. Well, their little packs right now.
Yeah, we're reaching that point where people are selling into the ribbon now, and beginning to show the true pace as feelings calm down a little bit, gaps begin to happen, and all that But Jozo is right behind Ace Boy now. Australia, very difficult track to overtake on, if I remember correctly. But Jozo has shown he has pace in qualifying, so I'll be quite excited to see how long these guys will battle for first place and who will come out on top.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you was on about the Rhythm of Australia, I was thinking more of Rhythm of the Night, but that's not going to be anything. They are in the Australian rhythm right now, but I kept saying that Gurla, he's having a bit of a push from Owen, and so is Dom pushing Trevor Linden in the background. But, well, all of these top 3 positions are getting pushed in some sort of way, and, well, we are having the battles all over the field, and this is where the key bit starts to come in. Who will be the first one to pit to take the undercut or the overcut in the next few laps, because these guys are very close together, and we have a yellow flag, and that looks like is that Curtis?
It's Fropsy, and I think Fropsy has had an incident, and Kurz as well.
Yeah, because it's one of the McLarens dropping down the back. It was Fropsy against some Fropsy.
Yeah, I was just watching. It was Max and Kurz. They were going side by side into turn 1, and Kurz sort of hits Max a bit, spins, and I think Fropsy just gets collected in that instance, so quite unfortunate for Fropsy. He's not having a very lucky start to this race.
No, he is not, and unless he gets a safety car, I don't think he can really get back into it. However, we do have a massive train, from the look of it, forming behind Kurt. Oh, no, is it not Kurt? Can't see who it is, sorry, I hit the wrong bloody button. the camera angle, but we are seeing a bit of a train form behind Ocean Chief now, as McLaren Lad is the one leading this train. Ocean Chief now trying to get onto the back of McLaren Lad, as you can see, but behind him we've got Tide on the...
Sorry to interrupt, but I think Joss is going to go for a move for P1 now, as he goes up the inside of Ace Boy into turn 1, brakes later than Ace Boy, gets past him, and that's the move done for P1, although Ace Boy seems to be wanting to carry it around the outside and challenge him into turn 3. However, I think Jozo's got this move done, and Ace Boy will have to slot in behind him for P2.
Yeah, Jozo had that DRS in the main straight, so that's why he was able to hold on to that position. But a very nice overtake, putting it on the brakes a lot and going out onto that curve to get past Ace Boy, and he has got the reward for it. And now he's going to be ahead in the pit stop, so we've got 24 more laps to go, but Jozo getting ahead of Ace Boy. Now if he puts his foot down, then we might see that pace he's shown in quali as run away with this race. However, behind, we have actually got the battle going on, as Dom has got past Trevor without us knowing, and he's actually showing, but behind them, Danny and Trevor are both battling very hard. Trevor actually coming under some pressure now for Omleto, who's breaking away from that pack with Danny, but Trevor Linden looks like he's going to go up the inside, going into turn 11, but thinks better of it, as these guys now are stuck behind in this battle for 5th place. But Owen looks like he's taking a lot of curb every time going into turns 11 and 12, but he's not really picking up any warnings yet. So, and he almost spins, getting very sideways out of turn 13 then. I was saying about taking a lot of curb, and he's literally just showed what happens when you do, because these cars are very sensitive on the curves. But it looks like now he's holding up a train from P5 all the way down to P9.
Yeah, I think Owen, he's driving like a man on a mission, and a man who's wanting to prove himself. He said in chat earlier before the race that he had a pretty horrid qualifying, and I'm very sure he wants to make up for it. So he's driving to the limit of that car. Yeah, okay, go on.
It's fine, he's pushing the cars to the limit, but the thing is, obviously, when you push to the limit, you just want the consistency in the results. But sorry, Danny's going to try and go around the outside of Omleto, but then banging wheels, and Danny goes onto the, how do I call it, the half pipe in Australia. Anyway, looks like he's going to keep up the inside. He has to get past Omleto, banging wheels like Arnu and Villeneuve, and does a brilliant move to get ahead. But however, this looks now to put Roman in the position to overtake Omleto, but is Roman going to be able to do it round the outside going into turn 9, and Roman goes on the grass and loses out again, because now what that's done is allowed Max to come up side by side with Roman. Roman now trying to get past Max, but Roman is going to have to back off, and Roman does hang off. And there you go, we just see Roman having to yield there, but that could have been a lot worse for Omleto if Roman got past. As we see Damon and Owen change places, and Owen, as Dom tries to come back, Owen coming into the penultimate turn, but Owen looks like he has got the move done and stuck for now. As we see Trevor, who's breaking away from, well, not breaking away from that pack, coming up to them now to try and have a go into P4, as we see Dom get a bit uneasy out of the final turn.
Yeah, I wonder if Dom purposely let Owen through to try and get the DRS and overtake, but it doesn't seem to have worked out because Owen going from P6 at the beginning of this lap to P4 yet again. So.
Oh, sorry, Dom's
really great driving.
Dom's going to come up the inside now, coming into turn 3, and he looks like it was a very. He used a lot of wiggling there to try and get past him, going a bit side to side, but it looks like Owen's going to be holding the position, but he looks like he's trying everything he can to get through, but he might have to wait this one out as he gets a time penalty for going over the curb at turn 7, and that could be one to begin the first few penalties, as that's actually the first penalty of the guys who started in the top 10. Obviously Max is on one, but he started on the mediums, but that could be crucial in the pits. But I think we'll see a few guys starting to come in within the next few laps, and well, if Dom can keep up this pace, he might be able to jump over in the pits, because if he stays out for that extra lap, if he can get the pace on those worn tyres, he might be able to do it. However, we do have a 2.5 second lap gap forming in behind. Roman coming under in cruise pressure now, and actually giving Omletto a lot of pressure, and these guys do sound a lot French as Max tries to go around the outside of Roman into the penultimate turn, but he will have the inside line coming into turn 15 and turn 16, and he does get it as Roman now loses out to Max, and Max gets the DRS. And that is a very nice move by Max, taking around the outside turn to get ahead of Roman for the main straight.
So Max going from last place to P9 in 8 laps is a pretty impressive drive so far from him, and I do remember him being quick. Oh, as Owen and Dominon are yet again fighting around. Oh, as Owen gets a bit of oversteer, and I think that allows Dom to take the position yet again.
I think Owen's starting to struggle a little bit on those tyres now, as you just saw. He's dropping back a bit now. You can see Dom's obviously looks a bit more confident on those tyres, because it looks like now Trevor is going to try and have a go at Owen, but the gap remaining pretty consistent between them all. So we might see them come in the next laps as Frosty and Kurz change positions, but obviously Frosty has already pitted, and so has Kurz, but that's not it, as we have a yellow flag, but that's not really for anyone's concern at the minute. Ocean Chief actually up to P11 as well. He's one place off that P10, so he knows what he needs to do, and he just needs to move up one more place, and then his overall mission will be done for the night. But he's got a little bit of work to do, because he needs to close down a 6 second gap. However, if he keeps his nose clean, he will be fine. But then, saying that, Dom is coming under increased pressure from Owen. We have a massive train from P4 all the way down to P10, and we see in the background Max going into the back of the Williams. These guys are so close, as we see Roman now, the first guy out of the top 10 to pit, and so does Dom.
Dom went into pits as well, so that allowed Owen to get the DRS into turn 1, so he gets P4 back again, but I think Dom is trying an undercut here. Owen will have to put in a stellar lap now in order to stay ahead of Dom come the pit stops, but I'm pretty sure that Owen, Trevor Linden, Danny, all of them are going to pit next lap.
Yeah, oh, it's Omletto! That was, he just got a bit oversteered, and Max went into him, and if Max has got a bit of front wing damage, that could hamper his race, because he's on those medium tyres, and that could be very unfortunate. However, I don't think it has, luckily, as Omletto somehow managed to escape with F1's physics into the wall. He is perfectly fine. But these guys in the train, the dirty air is not helping them one bit, so we'll see where Dom comes back out, Dominon comes out, but we see Trevor and Owen trading places, and Danny going to get through now before turn 11. Owen having a few issues, I think, like I said, he's just not confident on these tyres, and that yet again, he's cutting that turn, he's just struggling so much, but Max now is going to take him. Owen losing out 3 places in 1 lap, and Owen, I know he's battling Max, but that's not really what you want to be doing, because when you two are both on different strategies, you just need to wait. However, we'll see now if Trevor and these guys come in, as Gerler does pit, Trevor pits, but Danny decides to stay out for an extra lap, and
Noah goes into pits as well, which I was expecting to see, because he was really struggling on those tyres.
Yeah, a few of these guys were struggling a lot on these tyres, but saying that, Max, again, all the way from the back of the grid up to P3 already. I know it's not that he's net P3, but this is just, those medium tyres, as we said before the start of the race, is proven to have that advantage over the worn soft tyres from the guys in the top 10, and if he started a bit further up the grid, God knows where he could have been, but he's catching up to the back of, I was about to say the back of Ace Boy, but he's a little bit further behind, but Ace Boy and Jozzo pretty much in their own race at the moment, but so far it's been a great battle to watch between these guys, as we have Roman and Trevor trading places out of the pits, and we actually have Trevor going on the medium tyres I think, till the end, and then Roman sticking on the hard tyres. So Trevor going for either the 2-stop, we're going to try and make the mediums last to the end.
Yeah, I think Owen might have had some sort of wing damage because he's lost about 6 seconds going into the pit stop to Trevor Linden. So I don't know exactly what happened there, but as Max picks up another 3-second time penalty.
That's gonna.
That's a, yeah.
It's gonna bite him at the end of the race, but we'll see how he does. But either way, it should be all right. We do have a lot more as well. See Jozzo and Ace Boy. Oh, Ace Boy is yet to pit. Jozzo comes into the pits now, so. Race leader is going to go onto the medium tyre. So Jozzo thinking medium tyre is the best one to have. And is that Kurz? Yeah, Kurz has spun on the second straight. But interesting from Jozzo going onto the medium tyres. Whether he was going to the end or not, we shall see. But the nearest challenger to him, Gerler, is pretty much the main straight away. So Gerler at the moment is the guy in net P3, so let's see what Ace Boy can do and whether he will pit next to go onto the medium or the hard tyre. But if he has a safety car now, you're definitely going to say that's the advantage to Ace Boy at the moment.
Yeah. So Jaws has come out in a really good position because right ahead of him is his teammate. So if he catches up to Omleto, I'm pretty sure he will just let him pass, and then he'll have some more free air to continue to increase his gap. So I think Jozzo is set to win this race as it is. A lot of things can happen. Safety car is not deployed yet. It probably tier 3 is a bit back and forth. Either it doesn't get deployed or it gets deployed 3 times. There's not really any in between. So we'll have to see if anything happens. But as the race is happening so far, it looks pretty clean. It doesn't look like there's going to be a safety car. So oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say we're actually having a battle behind with Grizu and Gerler, but Gerler obviously pitting before Grizu, so Gerler trying to get through the field at the moment. But then behind we still have Roman and Trevor Linden both battling each other, and these guys obviously on the same pit strategy, but Trevor going on to that medium tyre, and Ace Boy now coming out into P3 and also going on to the medium tyre. So these guys thinking they can make that medium tyre last to the end, but as we see now right on board with Trevor Linden, he's got the DRS, but so does Roman as they come up towards turn 1. I think Roman's just got it from Dom a little bit as he comes down now to the second DRS zone and out of turn 2, gets on the curb, gets a bit shaky, but I don't think he's going to be able to make a move because he's just a little bit too far back as Dom is the one leading the train at the minute, but it looks like he's coming under a little bit of pressure from Roman now on that hard tyre. But the thing is, if Trevor gets stuck up in this pack, he's going to have so much tyre wear from the dirty air, he's not going to be able to get to the end really on that tyre, or it's going to be in a worse condition, so it's pretty imperative that he passes these guys now.
Yep. Ace Boy as well, kind of stuck behind Tilde, and this is just allowing Jozzo to further increase his gap, and I can see him struggling in the dirty air. So he really has to get past Tilde as well in order to try and catch up to Jozzo, even though Jozzo seems to be having a better pace at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. If he needs to get past him, but same with Gerler. Gerler needs to get past Grizu. Grizu obviously on the medium tyre and going to go for a little bit longer as Max finally pits now. It'll be interesting to see where Max comes out, but saying that Gerler needs to come out ahead of Max, because if Max comes out ahead of Gerler, Max's work rate from the front of the race, but I think Max is actually going to come out into this battle. Is he going to clear Domon? No, he's not. He's literally going to come out into that battle very close, but Max... Oh, no! Max has spun. No, he hasn't. Thank God. No, Max hasn't spun. I just saw him coming out. He hit the wheel of the Haas, and I thought he'd gone.
Ace Boy picks up a 3-second time penalty, so that really, really hampers his chance to get a win.
Gerler spun. Gerler has spun. I think he was battling with Grizu, and he touched the wheel and just saw him spinning, and then Dom collected the front of him, and that's really unfortunate for Gerler. Gerler losing out there, and that's going to be absolute kicker to him because he was having a very nice race in P3, and all that hard work has just been undone. But he's dropped back now behind Ocean Chief, and that's going to be an absolute gut kicker for him. But I didn't see what happened, but yeah. There's
a great little 6-man train here behind Griza, but like you said earlier, sorry, wait, now I'm getting confused. Anyways, the only person who doesn't have a penalty in this is Danny. He has yet to pick up a time penalty, so if he sticks to this train to the end, he might be able to jump 3 or 4 positions just by being behind them. But I'm pretty sure as soon as Greaser goes into the pits, this train will start to spread out a bit.
Yeah, for sure. I think this train will, as you say, start to spread out, but if Danny can keep it. But saying that, Grizu's the one who's holding this train at the minute. I think when Gurla tried to get past it, he ended up getting stuck behind Grizu, but now that is actually going to allow Roman to try and take over the lead of this train. As we see Dom trying to go down the inside, as we see like 5 cars going side by side into turn 4, and it looks like Dom has got past Grizu, but is Roman going to get past Grizu, and Dom has got the move done, and that is going to be absolutely crucial for his race, because now it looks like Roman is going to have pressure from Danny and behind Max trying to get past Trevor, but these guys have got stuck behind Grizu, obviously, who's on the alternate strategy, and Dom, making that move stick, has got a bit of breathing room between himself and the other guys behind, and it looks like Roman's had a bit of a moment. Danny has come through, and it looks like Trevor's also going to get past Roman going out onto the grass out of turn 9 and 10, and he has lost out. But as we see Grizu trying to get back at Dom and not really doing it, but that's going to now allow Danny to get the DRS on him, but it looks like that DRS is getting it as Grizu tries to go down the inside, bit desperate, and that forces Dom out wide. We have 6 cars, it looks like Monza all over again, 3 going wide.
Brilliant move by Danny.
And Trevor spins contact in the background, and the AlphaTauri of him, and that's another car as Grizu finally pits. But yeah, he didn't really want to give that up, and that's just
he made sure to cause all the carnage before he went into the pits. That was quite an intense battle, and I think the 2 winners of this is Danny and Owen, because Owen is now back up behind Roman.
Yeah, I was going to say that it was the Ferrari master plan all along to hold up everyone, and then we get a great battle on the commentary. We're saying that Max has got past Dom, but Grizu obviously causing a lot of havoc in the leading pack, and that has shook the field up a little bit, to be honest, and he comes out in P16. But either way, let's have a look at the guys. Jozzo pulling out a 7.8 second gap ahead of Ace Boy. Ace Boy's dominance this season not really looking like it is going to be there at the minute, if this is anything to go by. Tide is in P3 at the minute, but actually that train was just watching, he's actually going to be the one taking the final podium step, as Danny and Max both holding on. So if Danny can not pick up a penalty, I think he's pretty much going to be short of a podium at this race, so he just needs to make it work. But the problem is, on those medium tyres, does he have enough life in them to actually get to the end?
Well, that as well, and if he gets passed by Max and Dominon, he also just needs to stay within 3 seconds of them, and then he'll still be able to potentially get that podium spot. So Danny in a bit of a tricky situation now, because he's got 4 guys behind him charging quite quickly, but he also has the breathing space of not having a penalty yet.
For sure, if he can, he's just got to hold on for a few minutes. Well, as we see Dom getting slidey again out of all that, but he's just got to hold on. But the thing is, he can let Max go down the road. I'll actually try and get the penalties up now. No, that's the interval. Where's the penalties? No, wrong one. Not that data. So I can't find I can't find the one for penalties. There's usually yeah,
I see. It's under detailed penalties there.
Got it. Apologies about that. Go through every single setting to try and find the one we're after, but as you can see, Max has got 6 seconds of penalty, Dom has got 9 seconds of penalty, so Danny definitely the one in pole position at the moment, as Max picks up another time penalty to take him up to 9 seconds, so not really what he's after. As we see Kurz retire from the session, that is our second retirement of the race with 13 laps to go. We are about just over half distance now, and we pretty much are starting to see the gap settle, but we do have now Max trying to push on Danny. Max trying to get on the curbs again, but I think Max is pushing too hard. He's going to just increase him, getting more penalties and sliding further down the order, sliding further down the points, but I don't think he's going to go home empty-handed. I just don't think he could have, if he hadn't pushed as much, he would have been a bit more like trying to battle for a podium.
Yeah. The 2 9-second penalties behind Danny must be a sigh of relief if he can see it, because that gives him a lot of opportunity to just stay ahead, and if he gets past, he just needs to stick with them and be within 9 seconds, which is very doable on these medium tires, even if they fall off at the end. So I think he is pretty set for that final podium spot now.
Yeah, and well, if he can just hold on to it, then he'll be alright. But I think the question is who's going to finish in P4 and P5 now. But up front, Jozzo, yeah, he's definitely run away with this with about 10 seconds. As again, see Roman going over the curb, and that's probably another warning. I think that's kind of the difference between the tier 2 and tier 1 drivers as well. They, they might have a few assists turned off, but the consistency of like Hugo's, for example, not picking up penalties. This is how they, jump races, jump place at the end. As long as you don't get penalties, then you're going to be perfectly fine. So they are doing what they need to do at the moment, but because Dom and Roman trade places as Roman is getting
Max and Danny are going side by side as well, and Max seems to get the inside, and Danny has to go around the outside, but Danny now is the inside for the next corner, and they're still side by side. Danny gets a bit of a better exit, but he will have to concede a bit because Max is up the inside, but Max seems to have lost a bit of drive there and is behind Danny yet again. So This is just a bit of unnecessary battling that allows people behind to catch up.
I was going to say this is just Mercedes ping pong at the moment, and it is working out very well. But Max again tried to do what he did before, try and take the outside line into turn 15, so he had the inside line coming into turn 16, and it hasn't really worked out for him because he's ended up about 4 tenths behind. But there's still a long way to go. But either way, this is the closest battle on track at the moment, and Roman is just sitting in the slipstream of Dom, and he will have to make his move. He doesn't really no one really has to make a move because everyone else ahead of them has got a load of time penalties. They don't need to do anything.
Yeah, as it stands, Roman will get P4 and Owen will get P5, I think, as it stands. But I think Owen might potentially try something on Roman.
Oh, no, Dom! Why? How the hell in the world did he save that? How did he save that? He just literally. I can't remember whose save it was.
Okay, that was an epic save. I'm sorry. Hats off to Dom.
Hats off to Dom. That was save of. I know it's the first race, but save of the season. I think it was more as we see someone come into the pits. Tide finally comes into the pits, but that save, I can't remember who it was who did it in real life, but he did that save. But we see Roman getting past Owen, but Owen getting that DRS back. He's not going to be able to have a dive down the inside of Roman there, but yeah, Dom stealing the show off these two guys. But either way, Roman up into P5 on the less penalties, and he will be taking P4 at this rate because he doesn't have any penalties. So it looks like we are going to be seeing the battle for these positions and the driver save of the season so far.
Yeah. So yeah, Dom just pulls out a Superman save. Oh, Owen gets a little bit twitchy on exit, which allows Dom actually to get right up behind Owen now. Maybe he'll try something coming into the DRS zone, but we'll have to see. He's only 3 tenths behind. As he picks up another time penalty. That's not. That's 12 seconds now?
Yeah, I was going to say it's literally the roulette of, who's getting what time penalty in 2SRL Tier 3 today. And it looks like the person who's winning that award at the moment is definitely Dom. I see Gurla picking up a time penalty as well. So it's literally everyone is, going to be determined by penalties at the minute. But the only two people, as McLaren Lad retires from the session, he's come out of turn 12 and crashed into the barrier from the look of it. Jozzo and Ace Boy. So as we have a safety car, finally.
There we go.
I was going to say you said earlier about the safety cars it would be 0 or 3. I was going to say it's the 2SRL lottery for tier 3 for the safety cars, and we have a safety car, and that could shake up the order a little bit here as Sonny gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, and that could be.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh, I want. Okay, that's very sad. I wanted to see what he could have done. Right, so Danny is probably a really big winner here because he has yet to pick up a time penalty. Owen, in the meantime, has picked up another 3 seconds, so Roman has 3 seconds clear of Owen now, so that is looking like a pretty good potential P3, P4 spot maybe. Let's see. This is also a bit of a savior for Danny because he was on the medium tires, which I'm assuming were beginning to fall off a little bit. So he'll be able to probably whack on another set of mediums and bring this one home. I don't know about the others though. They might go into softs, but we'll have to see. Oh, and Danny is disconnected.
No, he's not. He's here. He's here.
Is he?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay.
What I was going to say was, oh yeah, there's a bit of lag. He's going into the pits, but let's see as Ace Boy goes on the soft as well. They should be able to make the softs last to the end from here because they are good.
Ace Max! As Max hits the back of Danny going into the pits and gets front wing damage because of it.
And that's going to cause him to lose a load of time. And that's exactly what he didn't want to, but the real winner here could be Danny because he could come out behind Ace Boy. No, the real winner of all this is Tide because he pitted before the safety car.
Oh, yeah, of
has
course.
come out in P3. I did see him. I saw him that he had pitted obviously on the screen before, but the thing was, I thought he was too far back behind everyone, not to have an advantage. And look at that, he's come out in P3, and that safety car has worked right in his favour. And he does have. If we just have a look at his penalty situation, he has got only 3 seconds worth of time penalty, so he's not even out of contention for a podium yet.
Wow, okay, so out of nowhere, a tell that comes. I guess you could say the tide has turned for him.
Well, the tide does turn, and then the I don't know what other pun could use to match up to that. the tide has turned in. Sonny picks up another time penalty, but yeah, I'll leave that on a cliffhanger for another time. The tire just turned, we'll use that again at some point, but yeah, definitely in his favour for this one. But Danny, the one who's definitely profited from this. But if we have a look at the tyres, Dom has decided to go into the medium, so he's thinking the softs are not gonna work towards the end of this race, and Grezu's still on the hards and has decided not to pit. If I was him, I would go into the box now because he's not going to have any pace on those hard tyres, but we should be under racing again within a lap. But at the minute, Josu's probably going to be kicking himself because he's lost his lead. However, knowing that he's got no time penalties, he should be alright. So all he's got to do is really just bring the car home and not getting stuck in any battle with Ace Boy. So if he can do that, then he's alright. But Danny, at the moment, looking like the one who's going to be taking P2 if he can stay in range of Ace Boy. So yeah, we'll see how he goes. Lap 22 of 29. Just
definitely makes this decently exciting race already exciting towards the end. And I'm just reading the chat, and Dehammer is saying Chief is going to get a podium. I mean, with all the time penalties ahead of him, this could actually happen. But he's had a few lucky races where he's been consistent, stayed off the. Danny's having internet issues. I'm just trying to onboard him and he just suddenly lagged under the floor. Anyways, but Ocean Chief, he generally tends to pick up positions from not having time penalties. So potential podium, but I don't see that.
Yeah, I think Ocean Chief should just about be able to pick up the podium. Not the podium, I mean the P10 for sure, because he's not got any time penalties. So he will definitely be in that window to take on that opportunity. He's only one of 4 drivers that don't have any time penalties, because 4 times the amount of people on this field do have time penalties, whereas 4 don't. So that's actually quite an impressive stat. But
yeah,
we are probably going to be getting underway as we're just waiting for Turbo to catch up to the back of this pack, and then I think Jozo will begin leading the pack in the second. We might see safety car in just the second. Don't think we are. We might actually have one more lap then. Yeah.
I think there might be one more lap because it hasn't said anything yet. So.
Yeah. Oh no! There we go. It's in.
Oh, okay, never mind.
There we go. We thought it was going to be in this lap, but it is anyway. As we just see it quickly going in Turbo, catching them to the back of the pack. Jozo leading these guys away, and we'll just quickly ride on board with him, and let's see how Ace Boy goes. As Jozo goes now at the final turn, Ace Boy getting onto the curb a little bit. Danny getting into the slipstream of Tide now has come down for the first turn. Will anyone be able to overtake anyone into turn 1? As we see in the background, Dom going very wide with. No, Dom has disconnected, unfortunately. We might see now Danny try and get past Tide. Tide obviously got 2 laps older tires, but Danny's been forced to the outside at the moment. He's going to have the inside coming in, and what a beautiful move by Danny. Danny getting up into P3 onto the podium. What a race by him. It looks like Tide's struggling a bit on those tyres, and, well, he is doing what he needs to do, but we might see the Renault swap around here because of the time penalty situation. But Danny, with an excellent move, all he's got to do now is try and stay within 3 seconds of Ace Boy, and then he will have P2 on that podium. But either way, sorry, Jozzo was just catching up with Ace Boy. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Anyways, Danny has been driving a stellar race, to be honest. I did mention before the race during qualifying that he might be a little bit of an underdog here, and he is proving my statement to be somewhat correct, but I don't want to put commentator's curse on it just yet. Still 6 laps to go. Anything can happen. Yeah.
I was going to say, someone made a prediction the other day in SLR. Or as Tide is dropping back like a stone at the minute, and oh my god, that was Owen going in, getting a bit of wing damage, taking off Tide and Omletto, and that was a massive incident. He just came in too quick and then took out a few of them, so I'm be surprised if he doesn't have wing damage. But that's completely wrecked Omletto's, I know Tide and Max's, but Max coming through now onto the soft tyre. But yeah, that wasn't really a move that he needed to make, and that's
a bit clumsy from Owen, if I do say so myself.
It was I was going to say the bulldozer did that, or he literally came in like Miley Cyrus in a wrecking ball. But either way, Danny saying about it, like mentioning before the first part of the race, and you was right, and so far he is now staying within that 1 second window of Ace Boy, and if he gets that podium, I think without a shadow of a doubt, I will actually go for him driver of the day at the moment. But either way, he has done what he has needed to do, and I think for sure he is a contender for driver of the day.
Yeah, I'm just reading the chat, and the Hammer has come with the chat. The comment of the tide has turned again. So he went from P3 to P9 in a section of 4 corners or something.
And he's gone into the gravel at turn 13 as soon as Renault spun. And the tide has dramatically spun, and literally the tide has literally done a full 360. But yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god!
I think that's his. Oh, and he's into the wall, and he's spun again, and I think that might be his race over.
And it looks like the tide in that case has gone back out to sea. So
Yeah, the tide became a tsunami.
It didn't destroy anything though, so thank God for that. Either way, Danny is still 8/10 off Ace Boy at the moment, and Ace Boy is trying to get ahead because he's got that 3 second time penalty. But if we get the time penalties up, alert really quickly again on the wrong thing, as Dom has got 15 seconds of time penalties, so it'll be interesting to see where he's at the end of the race. However, Ocean Chief may get into a good P8 here. He's currently 3/10 off P9, so if he can just keep this train now that's got Grezu at the head of it, because Grezu decided to stay out on his hard tyres. There's again 18 seconds now for Dominon, and it's going to be interesting to see where he finishes. Yeah, I was going to. Obviously, it's not really anything to be, penalties, but it's just where they are going to end up at the end of the race. And it looks like Grezu again holding up a lot of people, and it looks like I think Ocean Chief will get something like Owers, or he almost goes into the back, and Gurla almost went into the back of them then, but Grezu somehow holding them up. And the problem is, when you're getting a train like this, on a track like this, it's very hard to overtake, as you can either see Grezu's setup's obviously got a lot of straight line speed on it, while he's definitely got 111 wings, and he's using it to his own advantage. But we see Danny, we do see Owen getting past Dom and doing a very nice job. So that's another one. Gurlo and Ocean Chief trading places. We've got 2 battles going on at once, but we can't decide which one we actually want to go for. But Dom really not needing to fight this because he's got 18 seconds of penalties, as we see Omletto coming around the outside of him now, and Omletto up into P6 and doing that very nicely. And Max now trying to get past him because, well, he's doing the switch back again as Dom tries to get past Max, goes up the inside. Who's going to come out? And we see this as Grezu has spun from the look of it because he's gone plummeting down the order, and there is a yellow flag before turn 9 and 10. So Grezu's charge of trying to hold on to that place has definitely not worked out. For P6 and P5, it looks like Owen is going to hold on to that, but when penalties come into the effect at the end of it, it'll be right. But we see Gerler now trying to get up into P9, go side by side with Trevor Linden into turn 14, and Trevor Linden goes out onto the side to keep the position, but it looks like Gerler's going to take that outside line to have that inside line coming into turn 16, and has done the overtake very nicely.
As I said earlier, though, if Ocean Chief can get past Gerler, he will probably have a, I guess, P8, because Max has a 9-second penalty, and they're only 9.5 seconds behind the train from P9 downwards. So Ocean Chief is looking set for points because of the 6-second and 9-second penalties ahead.
You forgot about the 18-second penalty as well.
Oh yes, of course. Okay, yeah, oops. So yeah, Ocean Chief in a good position here.
He might get P9 or P10 from the look of it. However, we do see Max and Dom trying to take Max, and Max going around the outside. And it looks like a bug on Max's car, because apparently he is driving number 77, obviously, which is Valtteri Bottas. So well done, Codemasters. Yeah, a bug. Yet again. But either way, as we see Omleto picking up another time penalty.
That's going to be interesting come the end.
Yeah, I can't wait to honestly see, as now we see Jozzo coming through the penultimate turn with 2 laps to go. It's going to be interesting to see who finishes well. Obviously, I think Jozzo is safe to say, unless anything happens now, he will be the winner of this race. However, it'll be interesting to see if Danny can stay in the range of Ace Boy, because at the minute he's just dwindling on that 2.6 seconds, and he looks like now he's got Roman for company, but I don't think he's really going to get any action from them. But as we see Max and Dom come down, as we see Max get another time penalty, so Max now up to 12 seconds, so Max could actually, that could catapult Ocean Chief even further up the order. And those guys but
so Ocean Chief currently lying in a net P7.
Sorry, Dom goes into the wall and somehow doesn't get wing damage again.
I mean, he had a save earlier, and he's just done that. I don't know what it is with that AlphaTauri, but it's quite a solid car.
It seems to be built like a tank, because I remember SLR Tier 2 last season, Mackender spun into the wall. He didn't lose a wheel, and it was the AlphaTauri. He seems to be built like a tank, unless, I don't know what it is the Italians have obviously done with that car, but it seems like it's translated over to the game as well, because it hasn't broke at all today.
Yeah. And Danny is on the cusp of falling out of the 3-second gap that he needs to maintain in order to get the second place. So I hope for him that he actually manages to keep that gap under 3 seconds, just because of the amazing race he's done. It would just be a bit of a wonderful finish to his great race. But Ace Boy is very quick, and he seems to be pulling ahead.
Yeah, Danny's got pretty much no ERS left, and he's going to have a bit of a competition, I think, with Roman here to try and keep that place. And Roman doesn't need to battle him, because he's got that time penalty, and all this is, I think, now he's going to take him out of the equation. But Gerlo and Trevor both trading places there, and Gerlo getting past Trevor, as we see Omleto has spun. As Omleto spun, yet Omleto has spun, and he's got wing damage. So Omleto and Max must have had a coming together, because Omleto now has got a little bit of wing damage, and that was looking so promising, has turned into an absolute nightmare for him. But however, with the guys with the most penalties on the field are battling for P5 and P6, and as we see Owen getting shaky out of turn 10, getting on too much of the curb, and Max slips through from the back of the grid to P19. From back of the grid to P19, from the back of the grid to P5. That is a great result. However, with his time penalties, let's see where he ends up at the end of this race, as Dom
picks up another time. It's 21 second time penalties.
I know laughing at other time penalties, but it's just going to see where now it ends up, as we see now Jozzo coming across the finish line to take, a pretty simple victory, as we see Ace Boy come up in P2, Ace Boy last year's winner finishing there. Danny comes across the line, well done to him. Roman finishing P4, Max now coming, let's see where him and Dom drop across the order.
So I'm just doing some quick maths. I think Ocean Chief might get P7 here.
Right, let's see if you
Cool.
spot on. As he's coming up to the line now, Dom and
And he gets P7, so Ocean Chief gets P7. And I think people will be quite happy with that one.
I was going to say, I think you're right. That was a brilliant piece of maths. Even though we said our maths was off, you got the one that was spot on. So well done, redemption. And there you go. We have got the final results in, and Jozzo, the one taking a very, very impressive victory in Australia, and well. Interesting to see what the verdicts will be after the race, but congratulations to Jozzo, Aceboy and Danny for taking the podium positions. But driver of the day, I'm going to go with Danny because he kept it consistent, he came through the pack and then got on the podium. And then also, I'm just going to give Haas team of the day because both didn't pick up any penalties and got a load of good points. And there you go.
Yeah,
Max.
that's true.
Max picking up driver of the day, but he mostly picked up penalties. However, there you go. We see Jose on the podium.
I'd say Haas team of the day and Danny driver of the day as well, as they managed to keep it very clean. And Danny had a very impressive drive, starting I think 10th or something, and then fighting his way all the way up to P3. It's a great drive. And also Owen, a little bit of a shout out to him. P5 at the end. That's where he started, but he had some difficulties. He spun around a bit, and I think he did well to recover what could have been a much worse race for him.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's quite exciting.
It was quite exciting because we were just having a look there. Danny and Roman coming from P9 and P10, Danny coming from there, and then, well, you can just see Max coming all the way back, and Ocean Chief again coming from P16 into P7, just showing the effect of time penalties on this track. But as you see, Jozzo, Aceboy, Danny, Roman, Owen, Max, Ocean Chief, Gerla, Omlato, Trevor rounding out the top 10, and then we have Dom, Turbo Dudley, Grizu, Sonny, Tide, Calm Pagan, McLaren Lad, Kurz, and Propsy rounding out the final positions. But yeah, that was a very exciting race, and we had a lot of action in Australia, and hopefully we'll have that in the races for 2S, well, the rest of the week in the Extreme Gaming League, with SLR's Tier 4 coming tomorrow for their first race, and then we've got 2SRL on the Sunday for Tier 2 and Tier 1, and hopefully see a few more there. But right then, will we be able to have any interviews?
Yeah, sure. I think we can do some interviews. I'll just say quickly, go to chat 3 if you want to go to an interview.
Yeah. Oh, just get the interview screen while we just leave the paddock.
Right. I'm happy I wasn't driving that because I feel like I would have retired somehow.
I was gonna say I'm glad I'm not driving it till Friday, so we should be alright. Anyway, let's have a look who we can drag in. We have got Roman in there and Tide. So right,
I think Jozzo is in chat 3, and I think I said go into chat 3 for interviews. So let's drag in Jozzo first, and the race winner of the inaugural race of season 2.
Right then, there we go. So right then, firstly starting off with our first interview of the night. Jozzo, are you there?
Hello.
Right then, there you go. Yeah, we can. So congratulations, first race winner of season 2 tier 3. Just take us through that qualifying and race, because that was pretty much domination from front to end. But then the safety car looked like it could have, brought Aceboy's challenge back. Just take us through how the race went for you.
Yeah, the race was pretty clean penalty-wise. I got only 2 warnings, and the second one in the last lap. So I had no pressure on me, so I could drive just easily. And because Aceboy had the 3-second penalty mid-race or something, I don't know exactly, but yeah, it was a pretty good race.
Yeah, it was. Sorry.
But besides the start, I fucked up completely the start. I had so much wheel spin, and Aceboy had the easy overtake there.
Yeah. You had a pretty dominating drive, I'd say. We were discussing earlier in qualifying whether you had practiced a lot for this race specifically, or is this your true pace throughout, and do you think you'll be able to compete for the championship title?
Yeah, I practiced very much in time trial, and I don't know, I'm quite slow in Bahrain, so we will see next race. And yeah, I mean, if it stays so, it would be nice, but we will see what the next races bring up.
Yeah. So thank you very much for racing today. Great drive. Congratulations on the win again, and
Yeah,
thank you very much
for the opportunity.
Yeah, I hope to see more of this in the future from you, because you look like you're very fast, and you definitely look like you can be a championship contender if you keep up the pace. So great job, and thank you for joining us here in the commentary booth as well.
Yeah, thank you. Nice evening.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Right
Bye
then.
bye.
Right.
Let's see. Right then, I'm gonna drag Danny into here next because I just want to talk to him. Right then,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him Mr. Consistent. Well done for that, and congratulations on your podium. So, take us through how that went for you, because we actually gave you driver of the day in the end. But just take us through how that race went for you and the Haas team, because you was the only team actually not to pick up any penalties.
That's an achievement in itself, I'd say. I don't know, I wasn't really having high expectations going into this race, considering my pace in time trial was 120s. But yeah, I just thought, yeah, if I don't pick up a penalty, I can pick up something here. The last safety car came out, I was like, I'm gonna try and fight for P2. Had to defend at the end and lost, I think it was like 6/10 or something to Ace Boy, who was in second. Going first is extremely fast. He just flew away, as if his car was extremely light. But yeah, it was a good race. Chief did well to come from, I don't even know where he qualified, somewhere in like
P16.
15th.
Yeah.
7. That's good start for the team. Yeah, it's strange being away from Owen as a teammate, but I can say I've beaten him this time again.
I could sort of sense while you were, because you were next to each other at some point, I believe. I could sort of sense like you just sort of waving at each other, smiling, and just wishing each other good luck, and then off you go and beat him in the end. So good job again on the podium. Very dominant, well, not dominant, but very consistent drive. And we also gave Haas team of the day, because both of you were very consistent and you picked up very good points considering your starting position.
Yeah. Second time Haas has been given team of the season, or not team of the season, team of the race.
Yeah. So for Bahrain, are you expecting to be in the top 5, or what are you expecting? Yeah.
If I can perform like I did last season, I can probably fight for the top 3 again. I nearly won last season, but we won't mention what happened.
Yeah, no, this does not get mentioned. It's all right. Don't worry.
What happened in last season stays last season.
Exactly. Which is why I'm not racing this season. So yeah, we were just talking to Jolzo earlier. He said he is not the best at Bahrain, so he might not be as dominant as this race, but we will have to see. Good luck for next race, and thank you very much for giving us a good show today as well.
Thanks.
Right then, I think that will be the end of the interviews for now. But again, I mean, just tonight was a great race. We got treated to for Tier 3 for the Open. Hopefully we can see that more across the next few weeks. And again, it was really great to see. But anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. Both me and Kimmy it's been a pleasure to do it, and hopefully we'll see you soon. So take care, and we'll be back tomorrow for SLR Tier 4 on the Extreme Gaming League. Good night.
Good night, guys.